What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Stocks to Watch. And today is the day where I think the Bears have finally arrived. The reason I'm saying this is that the market breadth is the lowest in the last 60 days. That's one. Number two, the number of stocks that have closed more than, I think, 4% on the downside or negative 4% has had the highest number since the last 30 days. And more than that, strongest stocks, the stocks in sectors which had, been doing really well, they witnessed profit booking. So does it mean that the market's going to crash? No. The market is probably going to take a breather. And what usually happens in these cases is that if you've entered in the wrong stocks at the wrong prices, meaning if you're trying to trade momentum, the reason I'm covering this is because I'm a momentum trader and all the stocks that I cover are very strong stocks. So they're going to either move very strongly on the upside or they could consolidate. So what I mean to say with using all of these data points to you, what I want to convey is that the markets are starting to witness profit booking. That's one. And number two, there are going to be challenging phases in the market if you're only looking at the long side. So as of now, my stance is extremely cautious, and I will probably liquidate all my long positions by the end of this week. And next week going forward, I don't want to carry any overnight longs, in terms of stocks or futures. And what I believe is that there could be a quick fire correction that could be coming into the markets. Now, I will show all of this to you with stocks, with data, with everything. So let's quickly get started. Now, before moving on to understanding what the watch list did, I just want you to understand what basically happened in the broader markets. So if you look at all of these stocks, which are down about 6%, 5.5%, 4.5%, and the list goes on and on and on, right? So if I just look at the stocks which were actually green from all the stocks which comes into the futures and options, space, you will just see that I think there was only about 10 stocks that were, or maybe I think 5 or 6 stocks that were, over 1% up. And if you look at the other 10 stocks that were up, they were marginally up, and the rest of the stocks in green are barely green. So what that means is that the strength is definitely starting to wane away, right? So it doesn't mean that you become a bear, but as a bull, you start understanding that maybe the market needs a breather, and hence you might want to think about your position sizing. You might want to think about your allocation, and you actually might think of being cash and only enjoying the intraday moves unless and until the dust settles up, the market takes a breather, it consolidates, because the markets cannot go up all the time. So the reason I'm saying all of this to you today is because I have seen that all the days my watch list has done really well, but today is the day where the watch list stocks, I think only 2 stocks were green, the others opened green and then turned red. That means that the best structures in the market are also witnessing failure, fatigue, right? So this is the time where you, as a trader, if you want to do this professionally, you've got to understand that you have to slow down in terms of your expectation of the markets to move. And probably this is the time where you would want to be very cautious with respect to any position that you take in the markets, whether it's an overnight position, whether it's a long futures position, or whether it's a cash positions. So please be very very aware of that, and be very cautious about that. So that was from this. Now I'm going to show you the mid cap space as well. All the broader markets, new IPO stocks. What did that space do? And I'll show that space to you as well. And you will again see similar level of action, right? So you see a bunch of stocks that did really well, and that has to be the case. So if you look at Sequent Scientific, this stock was up 10%. Anthony Waste Management Company. So we had a discussion about this stock, I think, a few days back. After this entire range consolidation, and Antony Waste Management actually moved up. But again, these stocks are not something that have participated in the entire rally. So if you look at Antony Waste Management, the stock has been trading at its all-time lows, right? This is the chart of Antony Waste Management. So probably, whenever these laggards or stocks which did not participate in the rally start participating, usually William O'Neill, he said that whenever laggards start to participate in the rally, that is probably the end of the party. So, that is what we witnessed from Sequent Scientific. That is something that we saw from Antony Waste Management, because look at Sequent Scientific, right? Just look at this, right? So, the stock has been dumping since what, 340 areas, right, since 2021, and this is a very, very big beaten down stock. So again, I mean, these are all laggards, right? So if you look at Swan Energy, this is, another name which is, again, a recent IPO stock, but from the energy pack, this is the only one which was actually good in terms of its move, and Ether continued its move on the upside. Apart from that, nothing really was, very fantastic. Now, we had a discussion about, BSE, right? I think in the previous episode as well, that BSE is likely to do well, and BSE did well. Apart from that, there are a bunch of stocks, again, from various different sectors that did really well. One sector that took the attention, from every trader, every investor, every, market participant has got to be sugar. Sugar is turning very, very sweet. So you see Uttam Sugar, Dhampur Sugar, Ugar, Awadh, Bajaj Hindustan, Renuka, Mawana, Dwarikesh. Every single, sugar stock being up on the back of the government mandating the banks to extend the, subsidized loan rates to these sugar companies, and that is the reason the entire sector was up. And we do have a bunch of stocks which are, from the sugar pack, and that's going to be interesting for you to watch. Now, let's come to the part where we will discuss the stocks that we had discussed yesterday for the trading day, which was today. So let me quickly go to 22nd June watch list, and over here you definitely can see BSE doing nice little stuff over here, moving as per anticipation. Supreme Industries, another very clean play from the watch list straight away. We were anticipating this move, and that also did really well. Man Infra Construction did try to move up, and this stock was up, I think, about 3%, 3 odd percent at one point. And this will be in my watch list for tomorrow as well. Apart from that, ICRA was another stock which, did really well. The stock was up, I think, 2.5, 3% at one point. Yep, this was up 2% at one point, and then the closing was, kind of subdued. Apart from that, all the other stocks didn't even trigger an entry, or some of them even started, to see some profit booking coming in. So again, once I start seeing that, my momentum trading style, watch list, and only a few of them are starting to make good moves, that is my indication that probably momentum trading has to take a halt, and the market could definitely be much, much more tricky to trade, at least on the long side. So with that being said, let's continue and let's start understanding and let's start discussing the stocks that we're going to be watching out for today. Now, there are a bunch of stocks which are, outperformers, and there are a bunch of stocks which are just newbies. Like, I've never discussed these stocks with you. So let's quickly have a discussion of all of them. So number one is Trent, which is a trend continuation name. However, I don't feel it's ready yet, but this is one of those names which has been resilient in its move, and I think this could continue. And since it's from the textile space, textile stocks are starting to get some traction. So we've seen that, and I think that's the that's one name that I'll definitely feel that could do really well. Next up is Torrent Pharma. Now, Torrent Pharma, after a spectacular move post earnings, the stock is again getting into a tight range consolidation over here, and I'll definitely be watching this stock out, both from an intraday perspective and maybe from a BTST perspective tomorrow. Maybe we start seeing another move. Always remember, all of these stocks are very extended right now, but pharma is one such theme which I feel is going to have a lot of value unlocking, and hence Torrent Pharma, both technically, fundamentally, and from an earnings perspective, looks absolutely decent. Third stock has to be Renuka, and this is from the sugar space, the sugar pack. The only sugar name which is still in under a consolidation and can start moving out, and that is the reason I'm having Renuka on my radar. So this is the base that I'm looking to play out. And I think Renuka can definitely test these highs. And if the sugar party continues, I think we could start seeing, in 2 days, Renuka could be up 10%, and I'll not be surprised. Next up is Bikaji, again, another stock which is a little extended. So we had a discussion about Bikaji, around this area that, we're looking for this base to get taken out. This is where we spoke about Bikaji. This is exactly the place where you spoke about Bikaji. We were a part of this day's trade, and then we got out, and now the stock is again consolidating into a nice tight range, and we are seeing decent volume activity as well. So I think there is a volume spike coming in over here. So I think this is also something that's definitely worth watching for tomorrow. Next is Tattva Chintan, pharmaceuticals, and this is another name which we had discussed, I think, 3 days back, that this is one stock that I'm going to be watching out for. The stock moved out of the range, and this is where it's kind of tricky. It's not ready yet, but if there is, specialty chemical action tomorrow, I'm definitely going to be keeping this on my radar. Man Infra Constructions, I've already spoken to you about this, that this was on the watch list yesterday. I will still be tracking this tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Hindustan Zinc is the next stock on my radar, and the reason for that is pretty simple. The stock is again coming out of this 4-day narrow range, tight range action. And if this area is taken out, I think there could be decent action coming in into the stock. Now, I'm not really a big fan of metals at this point because I've seen that metals have not really done well. So Hindustan Zinc, just for the fact that zinc in itself has seen good price recovery in the last few trading sessions, and I'll just show that to you just so that you are aware of that. So let me just quickly show this to you, what I'm talking about. So I'll just go to MCX commodities and I'll just go to zinc. All right. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that in the last few days, zinc has probably recovered, you know, about 8 odd percent from the bottom, and currently the zinc prices are up 6%, the base metal prices. So that's the only thing which makes me keep Hindustan Zinc on my watch list, that maybe there could be an action. And right now I'm literally short of stocks which are very good. So since the structure is decent, I feel Hindustan Zinc could definitely be worth tracking for tomorrow. Next up is another interesting name, which is Century Ply. So we have seen that Green Ply and all of these MDF and wood stocks, home building wood stocks have done really well. Century Ply has again created a nice little range over here, and I'm going to be looking to track this. This is not mature in my opinion. I think there could be 1 or 2 days of action. The thing that I like is enhanced volume activity, slowing down of selling while the consolidation is taking place. That gives it to that are more than enough reasons for me to watch the stock. Next up is Hathway, and I think you've already heard this stock multiple times from my watch list videos, because we've been tracking this stock since the first base, then the second base, and now is the time the stock has created a third base. So I mean, just look at how symmetrical and how beautiful this is. And from the day we had a discussion about Hathway is up 15% in the last 1 month or so. And I think that if you look at volume activity, everything is setting up really, really well. And as I said, once laggards, the stocks which never participated in the bull run, just look at this, look at the chart, right? Just look at this, right? So now you are seeing all of these stocks starting to participate in the rally. That definitely probably is an indication that the party might be over, or it's just towards the last stages. So again, I'm just reiterating all of these things to you because I want you to be very cautious, and that's it. Next up is Hatson Agro. So we saw Dudla Dairy do decently today, and this is agro. They deal in milk and milk products, dairy stock, Hatson Agro products. And what I can see is that similar action here, nice base activity. Remember, this is not a stock that you can trade intraday, but from a swing perspective, I think everything looks decent. Maybe tomorrow it gives you an entry, and day after tomorrow is where the big candle could pop in. So Hatson Agro, for those reasons, is in the watch list. Aditya Birla Sun Life. So we have been tracking this. There's not been any entry, so I'll still be watching this. I'll still be observing this. Until now, I've not seen any great action in this, but this will definitely be on my radar. And as I said, I'm running short of good stocks, so I'll just keep these. Tarson's, again, same story. Again, not really giving an entry, but nice little base. This is very, very similar to what Bikaji has done, and a lot of the other stocks that I tell you, a lot of very good price action, and I think there could be another 1 or 2 days where this could again continue. So I think another stock to keep on radar. SCI, again, it's still maturing in this contraction base. So again, it's not ready yet, but 1 more days of price action, and if SCI starts to close around the 105 region, this is where I will execute a BTST. So again, if SCI closes around 105 tomorrow by 3 o'clock, I think I'm going to execute a BTST in this. Next up is Moil, and another name from the metal space, and this is probably one of my favorites because the technical structure is looking absolutely gorgeous, very, very beautiful. And this is what I'm going to be seeing. But again, I'll have to look at the intraday structure to be a little more confident. But Moil is definitely one more stock on my watch list, and the last one has got to be Vascon. The reason I like Vascon is the structure is picture perfect textbook contraction with a base of high volume activity, slowing down of selling in these areas of consolidation. That definitely tells me there is a lot of strength still left. And I believe, one prerequisite that I have is that this stock should be trading in this range around the 43 to 44 region tomorrow for me to execute a trade or think about executing a fresh position. So these are the names that I'm going to be tracking. Again, I'm running short of stocks because the good A plus A quality the high grade stock selection, the stocks that witness all of these characteristics are a little weaker now, and that is the reason I'm growing more and more cautious. And do not be surprised if my Friday's video, if the markets close weaker tomorrow, in my Friday's video, which is something that I'm going to be posting on Sunday, the watch list for Monday, you can be you don't be surprised if you only see 4 or 5 stocks in the list. And if you've been observing that the list of stocks every single day has been reducing because the market's getting exhausted. So there could be a point from Monday onwards that we start actually looking for the short side, probably from an intraday perspective. But as of now, all of these names look extremely nice. And if the markets are bullish tomorrow, I think that we could see lots of good activity, lots of good action tomorrow. However, there's one thing which is very good is that Fitch has another rating agency has reaffirmed India's growth story, and that is really good. That basically cheers up the market. So that's one. And number two is that now maybe election overhang, maybe there could be slowdown in other parts of the world which could start weighing on India. As of now, India was independently running the entire show as far as the equity markets are concerned. But as I say, the market doesn't really need a lot of reasons to start selling off. And I just want to warn you. I want to make you cautious that this is the place where you have to be ultra cautious. Start booking profits whenever you're getting them. And if you are someone who has not participated in this rally at all, this is not the best time to jump in. This is for people who have been, part of this rally since the 17,800s, 1,000 point rally. Mid caps have done exceedingly well, but even on your screen, if you look at Bajaj Finance down 2.5%, India Cements, Bajaj Finserv, all of these stocks have started taking hits. That essentially tells you that the FII positioning could start shifting very soon. So these are the stocks that I'm going to be watching out for tomorrow. I hope you like this video. Please drop a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know if you enjoyed the content. Drop a comment. It helps increase the engagement so more people can watch this video, and it motivates me to bring new kind of content. So stocks to watch is something that I'll definitely do. But apart from that, there could be new series that I might come up with, maybe fundamentals, technical, stock selection, all of that for you guys. Thank you so much. I hope and I wish you have a very good trading day tomorrow. All the best. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.